Definitely. I, but the problem is Axe is such a good hero against the Troll Warlord, considering that you can just Culling Blade through the Battletrons. So the Battletrons doesn't exactly give the Troll invulnerability, you know.
Right.
It seems like Team One Win have this kind of just overall. I wouldn't say a better draft. I think the way that Passion UA is playing it, they're not exactly setting themselves up for that max potential that they could be.
I mean, now look towards that mid lane. Chera's just looking for hunts, man. He is
Oh,
consistently
he's gonna
ignoring his
pick up a
farm, and now he's
DD.
got the DD, or the AD as the kids call it. No one calls it AD, man. I know. I
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
I wish I was
No,
the kids.
but you know, if you look towards the Sand King, he is going to be picking up his Blink Dagger, and that's going to be the go time, right? So around the 20-minute mark is going to be Passion UA's time to actually turn up the pressure against Team One Win, and that's going to be the timing where you have to make things work. You're going to be in the mid game. You can't let up. You can't afford to make many mistakes. And if Passion UA are able to snowball from that Sand King's Blink Dagger, then that Troll Warlord can actually just get ahead from compared to everyone else over on the side of Team One Win.
Look at how much
Considering
farm
that,
Respect has, by the way. He's got a Pavis and a full drums. He is.
oh man,
He's living his best life.
he really is. But you know, Flacco has powers of his own, so you know, let's not count out the clockwork as well.
Could this be the initiation point for the Sand King? He's got the Blink Dagger, but the problem is going to be Axe coming in from below. Cloud and Sweden Strong are getting ready to try and triangulate in around this tier 2, but Munkushi's found Fernandes, and it feels like your chances of fighting are gone there and then. Without the kisses, even if you do have the Blink in, Burrow Strike do have the damage.
And I mean, Passion UA is not going for that smoke. You have that Blink Dagger. You have everything that you need. You have the Sanj and Yasha up and ready as well. But it seems like it's One Win who's looking for blood.
They were just waiting for Mirana's item to be completed. He's just a smidgen away from the Maelstrom, but that might be something they end up regretting. Tier 2 tower can be put to siege, but One Win feel like they have no intentions of doing so now that the Granny has respawned.
Yeah, and Batchik actually just bought so much time for his team. He revealed himself to those creeps, and Team One Win decided to go for a 5-man rotation on towards him, but they just could not find him. As that will mean that Uwai will continue to keep on farming, going
He's
to make
got a
his way
full
towards that
Sardin
scepter.
Yasha.
Yeah, he has a lot of sustainability. 2000 HP up for him. A lot of slow. He has slow resistance as well, status resistance to boot. And with that Blink Dagger from that Sand King, it's a situation where you can actually turn the tables around onto Team One Win, provided that you fulfill the requirement that we were speaking about in that draft phase. You need to get Sweden strong. You cannot let your Troll Warlord be disabled by that Shadow Demon.
But the issue is, even if it is a full 5 versus 5, forget about disabling the Troll Warlord right now. Like you said, it's also about keeping the Axe away, right? So it's a dual problem for them to deal with. So it feels like the answer is not 5v5s, and with the way One Win have been splitting up across the map, with how Munkushi has been very, very greedy because he's been able to be, right? He's been given pretty much anything he wants with his farm. There is a window, but to find it, you need to get great wards up. And I like some of the wards that Flacco's put into the Radiant jungle, but that Radiant jungle never has any Radiant heroes.
Yeah. And with those BKBs up for the Radiant side, for Team One Win, Earthshaker has that BKB, Windranger has that BKB. It's only going to be that much harder for Passion UA. Suddenly, your Mortimer Kisses and your Sand King Epicenter just doesn't do so much.
I mean, Respect and Munkushi together are still in hot pursuit. They just keep on finding niche again and again, and it never feels like Passion UA can actually put to use a chance to bring this 5vx together, right? It's just pick-off after pick-off, and as easy as it is for me to say, hey, One Win are playing separately, they're also targeting niche. They're also targeting these core players really effectively to never let Passion UA go down.
Scanning.
Ideally, though, in a scenario where the game continues like this, I do think that Passion UA are going to be just a bit stronger for it because you do have the Mirana and that Troll Warlord, and they do have two carries as opposed to the one of Team One Win.
I mean, this Roche fight might be the difference maker, though. Teleport in is being planned now. Cloud is standing on the high ground, but no, the Dire decide not to. They're too afraid, and rightfully so. Cloud, if he senses a couple of players coming in, that would be it. So they're going to give up the Roshan. They're going to trade it up for a little bit more space out towards the top lane. If there is going to be a TP counteraction to the Troll Warlord, there's a fight to be had here, but that should be realized by One Win as well. Good deep aggressive warding. So I actually like this trade-off. One Win are going to be able to get the Aegis, but continually Passion UA have been prioritizing moving towards that late game that you're talking about. So it feels like you've got 5-6 minutes right now where if you don't take down the tier 2s with this Aegis, One Win might be out of sort of the leading map control
top.
situation.
Passion UA are TPing top, so it's going sorry, Team One Win is actually TPing top, so will Passion UA actually choose to turn this around?
Oh,
Bro, Fernandez is going to TP out.
Oh, that's a great... Oh, what a hook shot calls in. He has just died for the sins of the Troll Warlord. Perfectly played. Very nice from Flacco.
Yeah, that is the ideal position 5, you know, the sacrificial lamb.
Get down, Mr.
What
President.
more can you ask?
Very nice. Secret Service on the lookout for Flacco.
And I mean, in a scenario where you're faced up against that Aegis, just being that sacrificial lamb and just buying as much time to just let that Aegis time out is more than what you can ask. It'll allow your Troll Warlord to farm, it'll allow your Mirana to keep on farming, and meanwhile Batchick is trying to get his farm up as much as he can. So in a scenario where Team Passion UA are able to hold on to some of these tier 2 towers by that Aegis, before that Aegis timer runs out, that's going to be an ideal scenario for them.
I mean, Batchick has done a great job of picking up the farm, don't get me wrong. He was getting absolutely bullied by Munkashi. Munkashi had just made his life miserable, but bottom lane, the Troll Warlord now might just be caught out. He doesn't have a BKB, so to get out of it here seems unlikely at best, and with no help, with no BKB, with no chance, that battle chance will not mean anything.
Yeah, he's just gonna get dunked down. Passion UA, their carry has just fallen, and that Troll Warlord was doing so well, but it seems like Passion UA are just not able to group up, right? And Team One Win are playing this in a way that they're just simply not allowing them to group up, but Passion UA just really do need to get a better job, do a better job of counteracting some of these initiations. I mean, you have such deep observer wards, but you're not making any use of them.
Look, it feels like they've definitely done the right thing, right? Like where you're getting deep observer wards, you're getting ready to fight into them, but you're right, it's hard because also no one's actually near those deep observer wards.
Yeah. Those wards were planted, I believe, just as Team One were taking down their Roshan.
Yeah.
And they're going.
The bottom jungle one was a little bit older. That's just to help Troll Warlord farm for sure.
And now Troll Warlord is going to respawn. He's going to make his way towards that BKB, but it seems like the onus is now onto the Mirana, who just simply does not have that much farm. You have a Maelstrom and a Dragon Lance. You really do need your Gleipnir, which is probably not coming as he's going to be going towards that BKB. So a lot of damage potential missing out from him, and Mirana is just essentially kind of a position 3 with his farm.
Oh, great blink backwards from Batchick over here. He just keeps himself alive, but the problem is now, where we were talking about tier 2s, it's all about the high ground. Up they go. Munkashi's got the shackle. One lonely trade for one big echo slam. Chira's gone in. BKB's up as well. Flacco's got nowhere to go but back to a teammate. Dead to rights. A shackle connecting on both. Feels like that might have been the last straw. Passion UA, have they ever actually gotten that Blink Dagger initiation with the Sand King yet?
I don't think so. I don't think I've seen an epicenter outside of a counter initiation. I don't think I've seen Passion UA actually attempt to initiate on towards One Win. It's always been the other way around.
Troll Warlord doing what he's done best all game long. Unfortunately, he's still in the Radiant jungle.
Yeah, and I'm not sure what he's waiting for. You have an entire minute left on that Aegis, and if you don't go to defend, that's going to be a second lane of racks. your heroes are now respawning, so you have no choice. You are not getting your BKB in time, so you
Look at
might
the-
as well try to defend.
How are you even going to kill Munkushi over here? You've got so much counter initiative. You've got an AoE stun with respect. You've got Cloud's Blink Call. You've got Chira's Fissure. And then Sweden can also just disrupt at any given point that he wants to.
It really is looking difficult, but they have to make a Hail Mary play.
Mary's being hailed. In they go. Positions are ready. Batik wanting to get into the back lines. Epicenter revealed. The clockwork starts things off. Batik is in. Great catch. Great cogs. Great damage. And Passion UA, this could be the difference maker. Munkushi is isolated. He's going to be brought down as well. Respect can provide nothing to stop that Aces from falling. And Shira's still looking to try and back up into things. He's got the Epicenter. He's got the ultimate in 20 seconds. And now for Munkushi, BKB running back. Fantastic shackle onto 2. Respect is going to be isolated as well. Munkushi's a dead man, that's a guarantee, but Respect is about to give him one little extra body in the graveyard. A bit of company for his carry. Position 5s go wherever their carry will, but maybe not into the grave. That's not advisable.
Yeah, wonderful defense by Passion UA, recognizing that they need to go towards that backline. Just let that Wind Ranger stay in that fight and just take out that Shadow Demon. And once they took out that Shadow Demon, Troll Warlord was able to go in and clean the rest of their heroes up. Earthshaker did not have that Echo Slam for that counter initiation. It seemed like Team OneWin were just a tad bit overconfident with their approach. I mean, sure, they did manage to take out that melee racks, but that's a lot of net worth that's just flung the other way. I believe it was an 8k lead that Team OneWin possessed, which has now dropped down to a 2k lead. By the time that the Wind Ranger respawns, it's probably going to be nil even for both of them. And thanks to that fight, Troll Warlord is probably going. He's gotten his BKB. So the next time around a Team OneWin come, he's going to have a full BKB up. And keeping in mind that this is the first time that we've actually seen Passion UA fight 5v5, and it was just so incredibly successful.
And
so what I'm wondering is, why hasn't this moment happened before?
I want to give a lot of love out to Flacco for that as well, right? Because Flacco's consistently been getting these great hook shots, power cogs, where he's getting multiple people in it. And that sets up really nicely for Batik on the Sand King to actually be able to take things down as well. So if you continue to have setups like that you can fight in with, that's obviously ideal. That's what they were hoping for before. But that bottom lane, they just got initiated on as well. And as much as we can criticize, and I think rightfully so, Passion, for not grouping together, so much of it has just been because OneWin can go for these hyperactive fights where you're going in and in and in again and again. The double blink dagger, the save with the disruption, the save with, even to some extent the Stormhammer is a bit of a save as well, because Passion UA want to group together and fight into it. It's difficult to do so. So it's actually not as easy as we maybe make it out to seem like. But that is the answer, unfortunately, even if it's not easy.
But all things considered, Passion UA certainly do have what it takes to actually, fight on even ground. You have the Mirana who has the BKB up as well. You have the Troll Warlord with that BKB. The next fight is not going to be so easy for Team OneWin. You won't have a lot of that magical damage. And if you're fighting inside of that Solar Flare of the Mirana, then that Earthshaker who's choosing to go in with that Enchant Totem or that Blink Dagger might just melt from that damage. So OneWin really need to be careful. And we really do have to consider that the next item for Troll Warlord or this Mirana might just be that MKB. Perhaps it's going to be for the Troll Warlord. And if you take this game towards that 35-minute mark or that 40-minute mark, and you don't have mega creeps if you're Team OneWin, then Passion UA, that's probably going to be the mark that Passion UA actually starts to take the lead.
But as much as we are painting a rosy picture and a possibility that certainly does exist, we cannot ignore the fact that there are 2 lanes of Raxus gone.
True. But, I mean, okay, so, of course, you were not doing the solo casting, and I'm actually proud of this fact a little bit. So we actually went through a 66-minute game where we had Mayday creeps, where we had actually had tier 5 items come out, and I believe it was Team DMS at that time, or in fact, actually it was Team Hydra, and they managed to still win against those. And Passion
So
UA's lineup is actually pretty geared to be clearing out those waves, right? You have the Sand King, you have the Clockwork who can constantly launch those rocket flares, right? So Clockwork alone, just from sitting inside of the base, can actually push out those lanes simply by using his rocket flare, right? So essentially, you only have one lane to worry about, and you can clear those lanes pretty easily as well.
look, there's definitely ways of pushing out the lanes, especially with the Battle Fury and whatnot, like you mentioned. But obviously, always extra pressure to think of. But still,
Yeah.
what Passion UA have been very good about, and this is, maybe as a byproduct of not doing what we have suggested, which is grouping up, is keeping up in farm. You look over towards the Troll Warlord, he has consistently been flirting with the top of the net worth, very often been on top of the net worth. Now it's no different.
Yeah, and if you actually look at his last hits, he has 366 last hits to 268 of the Wind Ranger. He has 100 more CS than the Wind Ranger, right? Despite having equal net worth, Wind Ranger having all of these kills has essentially propelled him in a situation where all of these skills were not being given to the Wind Ranger, then perhaps this game would have been going a lot differently. But of course, we can't really talk about what ifs. We are commentating on this game. Wind Ranger has respawned. We are out from the pause, and it is now just a 1k goal lead in favor of Team OneWin. This game has been brought back by Passion UA from what was a pretty amazing team fight.
There's a minute and a half before Roshan comes out, though, and it feels like there might be a fight to be had before Rosh is there. If you can get a fight now, you basically guarantee yourself Roshan, especially if you can get on the bottom side of the map. But the problem is that, you know what, Passion UA, they know that. They know that very well. They're sticking together, and now there's no longer any mention of, hey, guys, you want to maybe go away and farm somewhere else? No, that won't be the case.
How did they have another gem? Did Passion UA not pick up the gem?
It's all about the jewelry for OneWin, man. They got the bling.
No, but I'm not kidding here, man. I'm not kidding here. The Passion UA took out the gem from OneWin. It was dropped towards that tier 1 tower on the mid lane.
I took that one back. Yeah.
Okay. I'm probably tripping here, man, because that would have been wild. That would have been some KYXY type level play.
I mean, good times. You are referring things that are 10 years old, but I appreciate.
Yeah, I'm a dinosaur, man. Like you can't blame me. But we do have Arsart in this tournament. He's been around since TI1 as well. Sorry, yeah, it's a different player. It's art style. He's been around TI1 as well.
He's been around since like 2005, 2004. I remember.
Yeah, but the granddaddy of Dota 2.
The granddaddy of Dota 1, dude. That's how long he's been around for. Even so, for Passion right now, all of this grouping up is still going to be something that eventually has to end. You need to push out these lanes. You need to put yourself in a position to fight for this next Roshan. As much as we've said that they can fight up in the 5 vs 5, going up against the Aegis is obviously going to be pretty damn tough. Dude, I love the Urchek, like the visual for the Spirit Cairn. Sorry, for the Slugger. It just looks so cool. Those people go flying.
What's interesting though is I understand what you mean, but Team OneWin, I guess they're waiting for that Roshan. It is going to spawn in a few seconds. They've smoked up now.
Oh,
let's see.
It is an early Roshan, so I think they just don't expect it. They're looking to take the fight initially, and it'll be into the dire triangle. Blacko's caught out. Link forward. Cloud's got this. It's an easy kill. And with the depth of the Clockwork, it feels like you need to just back off. And no, he's brought back, and in they go. The 3-man Glepner meant that he felt the risk, and now the risk is on the Troll Warlord. Respect going forward. BKB is on. Stormhammer avoided. But that hook shot being missed, and they've got no other way of actually getting into the fight. They need to recede and retreat back to Fountain.
Yeah, Mirana was just too low on HP. The Passion UA really did not want to fight that. Troll Warlord, Yawai was forced to expend his BKB, and that essentially means that Team 1win can feel pretty confident going inside that Roche pit. But the question is, will Passion UA actually choose to contest this still? And I think they do. I think they really need to go for this Roche play. It is going to be risky, but you simply can't afford to let the Aegis go when you only have one Rex remaining.
I don't think they have a choice, though. The problem is how fast this goes, but they are getting worried, and now with the rocket flare coming in and giving up vision, Passion UA will at least be able to sway them away. But this is now going to be the little standoff. The problem will always be the mid lane, which continues to push in. You don't really care about the range racks. The Roshan is much more important than that. But at one point or the other, Passion UA are going to start to think about retreating, especially if Monkashi is going to be giving up his position up top, pushing out with the power shot, backing in. That is so much pressure on your base.
He's TP'd back in, but the problem for 1win is they don't have the Echo Slam.
Oh my god, no! Yawai thought that he could try and sneak it through, but now the power shot reveals it. They don't know how to go in. Cloud will be going in onto a solo player. That's not ideal. In the back line, the arrow hits respect is down. 150 BKB though gives him so much damage. Yawai should be spun out, but Cloud's missed his ultimate. He won't be able to take down the Troll Warlord. This is disaster. Still, the Axe is able to get damage done. Fernand's on the pursuit is just not enough, and despite a mishap of abilities, a misplay from Cloud, Passion UA still can't get it done when they spend all their abilities bursting down respect.
It really seemed it really seemed like that was Passion UA's fight with that cookie landing that troll outside of the Roche pit, away from the Axe call, with the Axe not having that culling blade to quell the Troll Warlord up anymore. It really seemed like they would have had that damage, but Niche TP'd away. He abandoned his team, and that essentially left them powerless. The Snapfire was alone. He tried to do everything he could, but he simply did not have that damage. And Team 1win, they survived on the cusp of it with just 100 to 200 HP remaining on most of their heroes. Mirana should have stayed. Mirana should have stayed and died with his team.
Yeah. I mean, listen, it's not like you've got buybacks over here, right? It's not like the Mirana's life is going to help you out in any real way. Couple of seconds to the Sand King and the Clockwork return, and that could be potentially a small defense being put up. Unfortunately, you don't have the individual focus fire that just dominates the buildings. Munkashi won't be able to present that forward. Roshan banner is up over here as well. You've got all that extra bits and bobs for the creeps, and look, that's that initiation coming through. There won't be the Troll Warlord being able to deal that damage, but Flacco's taken down as well. Your wife finally here, but will it matter? No, it won't. This has got to be it. It's called. Flacco's decked out of there. It's GG.
Yeah, Dunk to finish it off. Flash tackle shot just sealed the deal towards that tier 3 fight, and it really seemed like Passion UA, they were doing pretty well up until that mid game. Sure, they were really lacked that grouping up mechanism, lacked the counter initiations, or actually the initiations rather, and they weren't able to get much done. They had those greedy builds as well with